Hello everyone, welcome to yet another interesting episode of We Talk Talent. I'm Abid Hassan and you are watching me on ETHRWorld. Today I have a very special guest who is from Globant, India. Please welcome me by joining Rinku Rastogi, who is the head of talent acquisition function for Globant India. Welcome to the show, Rinku.
Hi everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks a lot for joining us in this conversation where we'll talk about talent acquisition, where we'll talk about transformation in the industry and why skilling is really, really important, more than ever before. So
Sure.
before I go ahead and ask a few questions to Rinku, I would like to introduce her to all of you. Rinku has over more than 18 years of professional experience, and prior to Global, she worked with companies like Cognizant, Sapient, and SunGard, known as FIS now. She also has experience in overseas hiring and had the opportunity to set up and ramp up the hiring for Singapore location. Rinku comes from a defense background, which has given her the opportunity to travel across the country and taught to be flexible and accommodating. I think Rinku, being flexible and accommodating is really, really helpful, even in your personal and professional life, both. Am I correct?
Yeah, definitely. That is what is the need of the hour, especially, what all of us have seen during the pandemic and even before, right? These two skills go a long way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for adding on to that. Before I go ahead and ask you a question about skilling, I would like to ask you a very basic yet simple question. Uh, I would like you to share a brief overview of the disruption and transformation that is happening in your industry.
Yeah, sure. So, the today the situation we are in, right? So most of there is a lot of businesses which are changing, they are transforming. We really need to know that how they are performing today and how they are even going to exist, right, in the next 6 months or 6 years from now. So understanding how these industries and what do you call domains are going to look, right, in the near future is going to be the key. So the more you understand the changing domains and the industries, you would be able to respond to this change very, very effectively. So just to give you a very, very small example, right, if I ask you today that which is the largest retail online company in the world, what comes in your mind?
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, right? So take another example, right? So if we talk about a cab company, the biggest or the largest cab company, maybe Uber pops up as an answer, right?
Yep.
So are these, companies who are into retail or into cab services? The answer is no, right? These companies are pure software services company which are helping providing software to enable these domains. So the companies are calling themselves more of technology rather than getting themselves confined to some domains or industries. So that is changed, and that is a very, very big transformation is what I think, because the outsourcing of software is changed. It's no longer that I need a company who can help me find java.net, but companies are looking for companies who can provide them with end-to-end solutioning. So that is a key transformation which I see in the industry, especially when it comes to information technology today.
Thank you so much, Rinku. Thank you so much for putting out a very good example. And so it gives a clarity that people understand that yes, Uber, Facebook, or Google, or even Amazon, they are more in tech company rather than e-commerce or gap company. So coming back to skills, which is very important, you also mentioned about skills. I would like to ask you, what kind of skills do you look for while hiring across functions? Like it's technical skills, soft skills, behavior skills, or it's a combination?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. the technology, as I said that, as the skills are changing and we are, because, today you work on a particular version of Java, tomorrow that would change. So basically all these stacks, right, are the tools to enable us to solve the business problem. So what we focus a lot, in the people we hire is the fundamentals and the basics. When I say that, it is very, very important that people understand the big picture rather than just looking at the skills, so you should not introduce yourself, or the irony or the unfortunate part today is that people say that my name is so and so and I have 10 years of Java experience and whatever, right? So instead, your identity should be more than the technology. Your identity should be about, what you could solve and what you have solved in the past, right? So the fundamentals, skills, right, and the basics is very, very important. Even if when you talk about going to the technical or softer skills. So just to give you one example, right, or maybe the analogy goes, right, if you think that today, in today scenario, when everybody is talking about full stack and all these buzzwords of artificial intelligence and whatnot, right, do you think Sunil Gavaskar will get qualified? I mean, forget about technology today, right? Will he get qualified in the cricketing team today?
Depends. Why not? Because
yeah, because see, today, even before you need to demonstrate your cricketing skills, you would have to have some physical fitness. You need to, even before you get to the cricketing skills, you need to be physically fit, and you need to qualify to be eligible to demonstrate your cricketing skills. So that is what we are talking in Globant, that even before you talk about Java, what is your basic fundamental? What is the potential you have? So are you looking at solving problem, or you are just doing a piece of work what is assigned to you, right? So that is going to really a very, very big challenge what we have, because people are getting independent resource is a challenge. So in our interviews we focus a lot in finding that independent talent by using various technologies, various platforms to assess the people. We have 9 competencies which we call it as FCI3, which is focused on the person's flexibility, focus, commitment, and so on and so forth. So even before you come to the technical skills, whether your hardware is strong enough to be a part of Globant culture, so that is going to be a deal maker or breaker for you. So that is what
so much.
we look at.
Yes, for explaining that answer and why skill is important and how people have to enhance it, and going forward how it is changing as well. One thing you mentioned is about challenge. And being in TS space, I think there are a lot of challenges that you face, and there are a lot of challenges you overcome. So my question to you is, what is the biggest challenge you see in the TS space now, like overall, and how do you plan to overcome that?
So see, the biggest challenge is the skill gap, right? Because supply is another challenge, which most of the companies are facing. But more than that, right? So the good talent has got mixed up with with lot of irrelevant talent, or people who are not having that ambition or that objective, that how they can keep themselves relevant for the next 10-20 years. So finding that talent is a challenge, right? Who is not looking at just doing thing what has been asked to them, but there is this ownership, there is this flexibility to switch gears, because as I mentioned that skills would come and go, the versions of the skills would keep on changing. But as long as your algorithm, your programming, your basics are strong, right? Learning is just a matter of time. So finding the people who have the right learning ability, finding people who can work more independently is the biggest challenge today, right? So to answer, how we are overcoming that challenge today is that, we have certain platforms, right? Because, we call ourselves digital transformation company. So of course, this has to reflect in our processes as well, right? So we have last year, we have started augmented. So Globant is doing everything in the augmented way. So when I say augmented, it doesn't mean that we are using some machine learning or artificial intelligence to be. So these are no longer the buzzwords, but this you really need to implement in your interview process, in your career path, in your coding, so that you can change the interview experience and you would be able to get the right talent out, right? So just to give you an example, right, augmented recruiting, that we have these competencies which talks about that, which are very important, like the technical skills, right? Unless the person is not focused, the person is not having the fast learning ability, all these things, so we send a test to our candidates. So this is like a 10-minute test with the help of artificial intelligence. We have created that test, and then people go through that test, and on the basis of the scores, we decide, whether the person would have the ability to learn what is his score when it comes to being focused or being committed. So on the basis of that, we take the interview process ahead.
Okay. And you also mentioned about the fancy words or fancy terms like machine learning and data science. So how important are new age technologies such as machine learning, data science, and AI for HR? Can we say it aids HR to play a bigger role in business? What are your thoughts?
Of course, right. As I mentioned, right, that it is very critical, right? Today, everything is virtual, so your reach has to be much higher, right? It is no longer that okay, I would hire within Pune, or I would hire within Bangalore. Of course, if you have to reach, and of course, this world of the virtual world has opened up a lot of doors, and people have started thinking that there is another way to do things, right? So coming to this machine learning and artificial intelligence, so that the tool which I was just mentioning before, that it has built on these two skills only, right? Machine learning and artificial intelligence, where recruiter doesn't have to really spend his time in asking these questions, whereas the system is smart enough to, on the basis of the answers, because we have taken the similar answers from our globers. We call globers the people who work in Globant. So and then that tool assess these candidate on the basis of the answers we have from the globers, so we know where that person stands. So it really helps, because in today's world, you want to work on quality with speed, and these artificial intelligence or machine learning helps you to do that. But having said that, we cannot leave the personal touch either, right? Because at the end of the day, we are all humans, and unless you talk to the HR or you get that personal touch, you may have a lot of apprehensions about the company, that what you are getting into. So it is, because today it is very important, while we move towards a lot of digital world, lot of artificial intelligence tools, and so on and so forth. But one thing we should not forget, that candidate would want respect, and that respect you can give more through your personal personal gestures than through the, the tools. So
Right.
it has to be a combination, because the Globant, it's in our DNA to have that personal touch with our people, and that's the reason we have grown 70% from last year to this year. And we were very, very apprehensive, right? That when you grow, you lose that personal touch. So we are just trying to create more system which can give us or enable us to have a combination of speed as well as some personal touch.
Yes, thank you so much. So all my questions were interlinked with each other. And when you mentioned personal touch, we spoke about technology, we spoke about machine learning, AI, transformation, disruption, everything, and how it has helped. But no technology can overpower the human touch, the personal touch that you mentioned.
Right.
I would like you to throw some light on your D&I agenda. How is it shaping up? What are your plans, and etc.
Yeah, so of course, DNI is something, it is again something which everybody is talking these days, but very few people really understand the DNI aspect, right? It is not only about adding more female talent to your company, but it is also about, how you are creating that ecosystem which would enable the women talent to flourish, right? So Globant, I am really proud to say that we are really taken some steps, or to take this DNA very seriously. When I say that, it means that one is that in Globant, uh, we have taken a pledge to be 50% diversity by 2025. Right. So in India today we are at 31%, which is again if you compare that with industry, we are very well placed. And so what are we doing about this? Right? One is that okay, you do some women related drives and you're done, but that's not all what we really believe in. So we have been doing a lot of programs, like back in the game. So back in the game program we started 2 years back. Last year we launched the second version, and this year again December planning to do the one which is inviting women from their career. It's not about because they are rusted, they don't know. Again, I said that the Globant focus has always been on the potential than the skills, right? So we really look at, especially when we are hiring women coming from break, we ensure that that those women have the potential, even if their skills are rusted, it's fine. And we really spend time in training them. So we have created 2 months mentorship program even before they were onboarded, right? And that program was so well received because they felt that there is someone who is ready to hold their hand and help them when they are lacking confidence, because people lack confidence when they're having a career break. And now there is another program which it is another problem statement what we see, right? And it is across industry that as when women grow, they drop in their career, or maybe you see very less women in the leadership role. So that's the reason by 2025 we want to be 50% leadership should be women, and that is one. And what we are doing towards it, that we have launched a program which is up on LinkedIn and Facebook yesterday. It is we are doing it on the 30th of this month, which is grow in the game, like we did back in the game, and this is grow in the game, where we want to invite the women leaders to be part of Globant. And again, it is not to do that, okay, you just hire senior leadership, but it is that how Globant is creating that ecosystem by which the women leaders will not, with their family system, with their struggles, with their challenges, they are not able to, grow up on the ladder. So we are working a lot more. And as I said, the DNI is not only what do you call
getting more females on board.
Yeah, but it is also about a lot of other things, right? It is about
Diversity
unconscious
is not only
biases.
about gender diversity.
Yeah, correct. Breaking the unconscious biases, right? Like somebody, some religion, some some people,
race, color,
race, color, all these things. So we have set trainings so that people are aware of everybody unconscious. You would have some unconscious biases, I would have. So we just try to make people aware that it is normal to have those unconscious biases, but it is important that you are aware, and it is totally unacceptable that if somebody is not dressed well, and if somebody is having some accent, that you start making some assumptions about that person, right? So those kind of trainings we do take very, very seriously, because DNI is not only gender DNI, right? It is much more than that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for ending your answer on that note, that DNI is much more than female colleagues on board. So, and on that note, thank you so much, Rinku, once again. It was lovely hosting you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. It was really nice interacting with you. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.